Hello, and welcome to my May 22nd video update. This hopefully is going to be a quick one. I just wanted to update you on a couple things. Number one, I made a decision to return the Chewing Smooth 4 gimbal in favor of just keeping my Smooth Q because, well, I mean, I should have a list of pros and a list of cons, but it basically boils down to I like the size of the Smooth Q a little bit better. I didn't really test it myself or find this myself, but several people reported that the stabilization within the iPhone 7 Plus, for example, and the stabilization in the Smooth 4 sort of fought with each other. And again, as I never experienced that. I didn't really even use it that much beyond that first takeout. I just found that I didn't like, I liked the joystick on the Smooth Q. I like the ability to manually move up and down or right and left the position of the phone. I still have a lot of learning to do with the Smooth Q even after a year, but anyway, that's my decision. Got the paperwork, it's going back to B&H, and I'll have to pay for postage. That's one of the nice things about ordering from Amazon. You don't normally have to pay for postage. It's taken care of, but I will. So I'm going to lose $10.50 on the deal or so on. I wasn't able to sell it locally. I figured maybe I could do that, and then I wouldn't have to return it and lose a whole lot, but I was going to lose probably $10 or $15 anyway. Second thing, in watching reviews of the Smooth 4, one guy, and I see if I can find his video and I'll share it with you, he was talking about this ND filter. It's a Neewer, Neewer, neutral density filter, a fader, that is a variable neutral density. So it turns, and you make the darkness of the lens, or the filter rather, lighter or brighter. And as you'll see in the clip I'm going to run right now, they're really sunglasses for a smartphone. And they're kind of practical because you can use them with almost any smartphone. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so here I have put the ND filter, snap-on ND filter on my iPhone 7. It will fit any camera really. You just have to make sure it's over the lens, and I've done that. And so what it does is provide you with sunglasses for your camera, really, the camera in your smartphone. And the rule is when you're video recording and you have your frames per second set at say 24 frames per second, then you want your shutter speed to be double that. So 1/48. On a normal camera, you're normally going to have to settle for 1/50, which is fine. If it's 30 frames per second, then it would be 1/60th of a second to get the best look. And so what I've done in Filmic Pro is swiped out from the left and set my shutter speed to 1/48 and 1/48th of a second. And I've actually manually set the ISO at 102. It was coming in around 30 or something. And you notice how the porch over here is all blown out. Well, the idea is, and we've got kind of an overcast day. In fact, it's starting to sprinkle right now. But normally it'd be a real bright day when you would want to use this particular filter. And the reason you want to use it is so you can get that 1/48th of a second shutter speed. Otherwise it's going to go up to 1/1000 or 1/2000, and you don't want that. So what we can do, since I've got the shutter speed set where I want it, the ISO could change if it wants to, but I've set it at 102, and we'll see if it stays there. The aperture on a smartphone, at least on this iPhone 7 Plus, is standard. I mean, it doesn't change. But if I dial this lens, it's a variable ND filter. So it's wide open right now, and I don't know if you can see it. You really can't. Well, you'll see, maybe. I'm not sure if you can see it on the camera or not. You can't even see the little circle that is the opening to the lens. Now you can, at least I can. Not sure the camera's picking that up. So as I turn this, you'll see that the very white porch starts to get a little bit more, it is white, but it's blown out. You see how much better that is? So it's a little bit overall darker, even though I have not changed the shutter speed whatsoever. And so that's what you want, and that's what the ND filter's for. Okay, so I think a handy little thing. When I was first setting up out here in our deck, the sun's come out now from when I did that video a little bit earlier. It was bright, and I could have used this, but I wanted to show it to you, so I kept it up. Didn't use it, but I'm in a little shadier area on our deck. Comes in this nice little case. Folds, the filter part screws off, and it goes in a little bag, and then this all goes together in a nice case. So that's that. That's number one. That's actually number two. Number three is I like the little tripod that came with the Smooth 4. And the spans of those legs was quite a bit broader than what I have on my Yungtang monopod tripod setup that I'm using right now. And I'm going to run a clip of just what my solution was, because I have this this small Mi Photo, I think it's called the Backpacker, and I just really don't use it very much. Its extent is 2 feet high. So it's kind of nice, and it's a little heavy, but it's still very, very portable, and you could carry it with you. But for at home or so on, I realized this little tripod is a perfect base for this monopod when I want to use it out in grass or someplace that's a little bit uneven. I have another solution for that, but this is one that, and it's more portable, this is one that I can use at home. They're a little bit heavy unless I were taking a car trip, I wouldn't take this little tripod with me probably if I was going in an airplane. But it is another way to support a monopod. And the reason this all came up was, as I was looking for other, I was going to return the Smooth 4, I just thought, well, I'll get a little tripod that I can use with this that has broader legs than the ones that came with it. Everything was 3/8 inch. And 1/4-20 is the standard, and this particular monopod has a 1/4-20 receptacle, a standard tripod size. But all of these small tripod, the screw head meant to go into monopods, and they all had 3/8 inch. So that was a bit of a problem because this isn't 3/8. So this particular tripod has a 3/8 inch screw. And I had on it I believe it's a Joby ball head, and it has an adapter for 3/8 to 1/4-20. So that's what's actually the Joby head, or whatever head it is, ball head is on the tripod, and the monopod is on the ball head. And so that's what's holding up the stand now. So believe it or not, that's pretty much all I have to report. I got a couple other things in the bag that I'll fill you in on next week, but I really appreciate your checking in on this video update, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye.